Well, hello there, and this is Auntie, and I am here to do a review of the new adaptation of the color purple. I don't know if I am too old to appreciate it, but let's try. Let's see. Let's get into it, shall we? Oh, yes, we shall.
Everybody needs a sweet old auntie. Everybody needs
with a whoop whoop and a boop boop
auntie
boop.
that everybody needs.
You can make this up. Now you know that these are some crazy motherfuckers.
Everybody needs a sweet old auntie.
So why
Even aunties and lies, sweet old auntie. Aunties and ways. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Well, welcome back, everybody. And this is Auntie. And if this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you all so much for hitting that subscribe button and joining this family. To all of my nieces, nephews, and my members who have been here with me for the long haul, thank you all so much for your continued support. So, y'all, today was the release, okay, of the new color purple. It hold on, let me see if I can find something real quick. Hold on, y'all, I'm coming. Let me see. Hold on. I just want to make sure I get this guy's name right, y'all. Hold on. Hoping you all had a great holiday. So the color purple was written and directed, this new one, by Marcus Gardley and Blitz Bazul. The color purple ran for 2 hours and 20 minutes, and it was released today. On hold on, y'all. I'm coming back to y'all on Christmas. So I was hyped. I brought my tickets. I was hyped because I was so hyped in 1985 when the original Color Purple came out. I also had the opportunity to go to Broadway and see Fantasia play the role of Celie in Color Purple. I was so happy to see it, and I was excited I got my tickets for a late show, and then I changed my mind and I went to another theater because people be wilding out in theaters. So um I loved it. When I went to go and see The Color Purple in Broadway, on Broadway, the night that we went, so if you all remember, Fantasia was on, in New York, and on Broadway, and at one point she was having some issues, and so she wasn't there. And so we had already purchased our tickets months ahead of time. And so, all this stuff started going on with Fantasia. And the night that we saw Fantasia was the first night Fantasia was there. And I mean, when I say I bawled and cried, honey, like I was at a funeral, it was phenomenal. But even in 1985, when I saw the original Color Purple, to see Whoopi Goldberg and everybody just come to life, right? Like me and my friends, we were all just so excited about seeing it. There's just something about watching any kind of production, whether it is cinema or whether it is Broadway, of an all black cast. And it just, I don't know, it just does something to you as an African American person to see people who look like you, people who may have or may not have had the same life, but we all have the same struggle. It hits different. I'm gonna tell you, it hits different. And when I was coming up back in the day, as Taraji has said in a video with SAG, there was one or the other, right? It wasn't no whole cast. So even in 1985, to see a whole black cast, it was electrifying. To go to Broadway, it was electrifying. And today, it was electrifying. There were so many things that I loved about um, this movie, but there was some things that I did not, I won't really with. And I asked myself when I left the theater and I began to talk to my daughter, who is a novelist, right? Like she reads all the time, bitch. I'm talking about books. If you want to put a smile on her face, buy her ass a book. And when I say buy her a book, she want a book like this, got this many damn pages in it and reads it in 3 days. That's my fault. I put her in Montessori school when she was a baby and she was reading at 3. Okay. I was hiding my books at 3. But anyway, so as I, begin to talk to her, we both have knowledge of the book and stuff like that. And so we compare and contrast, we had them kind of damn conversations. Um we I was listening to her and I was thinking, am I too old to make the adjustment from 1985? And I think I saw Fantasia, was it 2005 or something like that? I'm not sure. But and then here it is in 2023, and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, bitch, you might be too old. Because when it started off and the way it ended, I felt empty. I don't know why. I had to get myself to the place where I would not compare. I wanted to see it as a musical that it was and a new spin on it, right? Like all classics have a spin-off. Dream Girls, The Wizard of Oz. They have spin-offs and things that, they're kind of different, right? So in this production, we had Fantasia Barrino, who was Celie. Danielle Brooks was Sophia. But we had Felicia Pearl, who played the young Celie, and Halle Bailey, who played the young Nettie. Coleman Domingo played Mr. And he did a phenomenal job. Now, as you all remember, Danny Glover played it before, right? He played in the original one. But I'm telling you right now, he was so good in that role from the very first time we saw him hit the screen. He was phenomenal. He sold me instantly as Mr. Because, you have a tendency to compare, right? Like I said, compare and contrast. But he sold me instantly. And especially when Nettie was walking from school, she was either going to school or coming back from school, and she was walking, and he was flirting with her. And then after that, he went down to the shop, and he was, playing this little song, his little, banjo and everything. I was so damn convinced he was Mr. Phenomenal job. Fantasia, the young woman who played, let me get her name right, bitch. Felicia Pearl, is it Max Papsy? Can't think of how to pronounce her last name. Playing Sealy. Even Halle Bailey. I'm thinking Little Mermaid, right? I'm not, into the young kids like that, right? Because she's a young kid compared to me in age. No offense to her art and her craft and her skills. No offense. But I don't really watch her like that. I don't know her music and stuff. My daughter be talking about it, but I don't really I don't really know, right? I'm coming from an old head perspective. But they were so good. The connection between them, it was believable that they were sisters. The laughter, the joy that they had. But what I did not like was, I think that certain parts in a movie are iconic. Like, if I do this, you know what this means. You know automatically when I put my fingers up like this, you know what this means. No words have to be said. You know where it came from. You know it was silly. You know it was color purple, bitch. You know that this is what this is. I's married now. You know what that is. You told Harpo to beat me. You know where that came from. So while they sat there and took out you and I would never part, while they took that out, I could not understand that, because that is iconic color purple. I don't mean no harm. I ain't talking bad about it, but I'm just telling the truth out here in God's house. How can you take this out? What? Did I miss it? Was maybe I was getting popcorn, some Raisinets, some Goobers, bitch. I don't know. But I did not see that part. If you saw it, raise your hand and let me know. Did I miss that? I saw the camaraderie. I believed that they were sisters. But honey, silly Nettie, she just left in a storm. Certain things are iconic. They are the staple. How in the world can we not see them? Silly Nettie. I mean, honey, I could do that. Nettie. She just was gone in the rain. I was disturbed. And so my posture about the movie, the musical, changed. And I know that the director has creative liberties. But if you're going to keep this, you got to keep this. Maybe it's just me. But I needed that. I needed to see that moment. Because I remember in 1985 how that moment left me in such a place of despair. It made me relate to loss. And it wrapped the whole thing back around when they were reunited. So when they got reunited, and that was played by Sierra, it didn't have the same feeling. And again, I'm asking the question, maybe I'm just too goddamn old. But I needed that. To me, certain things you just need to go through. Even in your life, there's certain things that you wonder when you're going through on God, why am I here? Why is this happening to me? How do I get through it? This was something that I needed. You could change the people all day long. But for me, that was a connector to something else. I needed that. And you know, art is subjective, right? We all want what we want. Maybe for some of you all, you didn't need that. But I needed that. Because I remember being hyped up to be at the movie theater in 1985. And I remember how that was such a part of my life. Even y'all know when I do certain videos and reviews, I use that iconic moment and I missed it. I missed it. And I just want to be candid. I want to be very upfront about how I feel about it with no judgment. Because these are my thoughts and my opinions, and I don't want to be judged for wanting that. I really wanted that. Mr. was phenomenal. When he went down, to ask for Natty, and he said, no, you're going to have to take Sealy. And I listened to Felicia as she talked on an interview, and she said that Taraji every day told her how beautiful she was. And she was in tears because she was, to play a role where you're just ugly. When you are in productions, you bring on that person's persona, everything about them. And so she had to see herself and feel ugly. I like the fact when okay, well, let me not jump ahead. Tamala Man singing, The new people that were in there. Tamala Mann was played. Okay, wait a minute. Tamala Mann, what did she play? She played the father's wife. Let me see. Let me find Daddy. Yes, Tamala Mann played the first lady. She was Suge Avery's mama, stepmama. Not her mama. David Allen Greer played Reverend Avery. Didn't even recognize him. I ain't even recognize him. Didn't even recognize that that's who it was. So we saw Nettie and them leave. We saw while Nettie was living there, we watched as she had her second baby, which was Adam, and of course, Mr. came in and took the baby from her and all that kind of stuff. And so, most of that was standard, but interwoven into that was a soundtrack for your ass. The soundtrack, I've got to get it. It was absolutely phenomenal. They threw in some new music and they left us with the old. One of the things that I liked about it was extremely colorful. It wasn't as dark and dank as it was in 1985. It was very colorful and full of life. And so you went on a roller coaster of emotions that sometimes felt good and sometimes felt uncomfortable. But it was just an absolute roller coaster of emotions for me. And I love that. I love the highs and the lows and the dark. Let me tell you, there was a scene between Celie and okay, wait a minute. So they did a whole dance routine. Now, honey, I was waiting on Taraji, who plays Suge Avery. I was waiting. I could not wait. Suge Avery, outside of Celie, is my second favorite cast member. Okay. Taraji made that character come to life. She was the girlfriend that everybody needed. You got past even the fact. You got past the fact that this woman had left her kids and you taking care of them, and she coming there drunk. For nights they watch, they allow us to see Celie lay in the bed with Suge's picture on the nightstand. But you talking about just a smack in the face? A newness for me. I knew it back in the day. But Taraji played Suge Avery so hard. And so it was so outstanding that it reminded me that those was her three kids that Celie was taking care of. I don't know how many of y'all know that, but those were Suge Avery's kids. But the way that they wove in the relationship between these two women, because if you all remember, Mr. was running around trying to cook for Suge. burning the food up, got the oven on fire, the stove on fire. So Celie is sitting back there saying, "Oh, I'm in competition with her," because they did this musical scene with her when she came back. And I think the song was Everybody Loves Suge or something like that. I find the damn track, this damn song to that. Is that damn song on here? The song was called Suge Avery. That song rocked the house. Rocked the house. The cinematography, the colors, the light, like that song rocked the house. Celie was in competition with him. Because she is taking care of your baby mama's kids. And everybody loves Suge, including her daddy, who act like he didn't. They did not do the God's gonna gotta tell me something. They didn't do any of that. When Suge Avery came to town, honey, that thing was hot as a firecracker. And when she went to the speakeasy, even the scenes with the men, Harpo, when Harpo was, putting out the flies that Suge was gonna be at the juke joint, and the men are dancing, and y'all, it was so good. If you have not seen The Color Purple, you need to go and see it. But you got to take your 1985 cap off. And that's what I did not do. I didn't take my cap off. Whoopi Goldberg was in the movie. She had a short part in it. She was the midwife who delivered Adam. Sophia, who was played by, let me make sure I get her damn name right because I want her name to be right. Danielle Brooks plays Sophia. She embodied her. And the thing about it is, she wasn't Oprah. And she didn't need to be. She was Danielle. I was so proud of her to take on a role like that, like all of them, to take on a role like that of people who played that part and embodied it, and their whole lives changed. I don't know if you all realize that Color Purple was a catalyst that propelled Oprah to where she is now. While Whoopi Goldberg had been in different movies, right? Ghost and Color Purple propelled Whoopi Goldberg into the person she is today. This movie helped propel Black actors and actresses to Danny Glover. Like, Danielle Brooks held her own. She held her own. Did I need to see her eye jacked up and her face jacked up like that? Mm-hmm. Because, honey, I was peeking. But when I didn't see it, I was still okay with it. I did want to see the devastation, but I did not need to see it. Harpo, who was her husband, was played by Corey Hawkins. Corey Hawkins and Danielle Brooks, by the way, were in school together and they are best friends. Can y'all believe that? The two of them are best friends and they was cast as husband and wife in the show. She did such a good job. And he made Harpo his own. I like the way that the director went because he allowed these people to embody these characters and tell their story in a way that only they could do it and who they could be true to. They were true to the characters. I listened to Danielle in an interview, and she said when she came into the room, she didn't want to just walk through the door. She said she told the director, Sophia would kick this door open. She would kick her way through the door. And she said, the director said, okay, let's change the setup of the door so you can kick your way in. It ain't nothing like working with a director who allows you to be creative. It ain't nothing like it. I've worked with different directors, and honey, let me tell you, no, you're going script by script. So for them to have the creativity, there was two scenes that I thought were absolutely phenomenal between Celie and Suge Avery, and that was the bathroom scene. There was after Suge was sick for a couple of days. If you all remember, she wanted to take a bath, and she had something, and she didn't want it, and Mr. came up, and Celie stayed there. She said, "I need somebody to come in the bathroom and do something." So Celie goes into the bathroom because she wants her back washed, right? They took no, she wanted the record player turned on. So Celie went over and did the crank, and the record started playing. It was Suge Avery's music. And Suge was laying and Celie was about to go out, and she said, "Don't go out. Where you going?" And she told her to scrub her back. Well, honey, they had them in this scene where they were dancing, and she was rubbing Suge Avery. And honey, they were on top of a record. There was also another scene where it showed the development of the relationship. Instead of Suge telling Celie, "You show is ugly," she just, when she saw her face, this is how long she been away from her kids. Because they kept giving the timeline, and the timeline between when she married Mr. and when she finally came back to town, I think had been maybe about a 3-5 year span. You leave your kids for that long? Even when Mr. was trying to tell his daddy she wasn't no hoe. This was just totally different. Yes, it was the color purple, and we honor Alice like we do. But y'all, this was so different. Some stuff was straight up in your face, and some stuff was subtle. But the duet between Celie and Suge Avery, when they came down those stairs, it showed the love that they had for one another. And I mean, when I say the love, I mean the love. But it was done so tastefully. It was so tasteful. I want that soundtrack. I'm going to get that soundtrack. I'm going to download that soundtrack from somewhere because I'm going to tell you right now, it was phenomenal. I seem to have remembered the ending different. I wasn't satisfied with the ending. I love the scene where Sophie, Celie's pants, and they did a tap dance scene. I thought that was phenomenal. I love the way that they wove in, with Mr. losing everything, and trying to recover and reconcile. I loved when when Celie got the store back, like all of that kind of stuff was just kind of like the same, but the ending left me stunned. They had an Easter dinner downtown at Celie's house. Because Celie at this point got money. Her and her sister was left a home and a store. But one of the things about that I did want to discuss is that Fantasia said that she took this role because the director told her that she would be able to articulate Celie's feelings. And she did. And I thought one of the most beautiful things was that had been missing out of 1985 and out of the Broadway production was that when Celie found out that her daddy wasn't her daddy, but that her daddy was her stepdaddy and everything that her mother owned went back to them. There was a moment that Celie said, somebody loved me. They love me. I'm telling you, in 1985, when I saw The Color Purple, it was rewarding. But this one, I thought that the progression, the expression of God's grace, His power to change your life, His power to reconcile you, His power to turn your whole life around in an instant, to repay you back 7 times of what the devil stole from you, was clearly articulated in this adaptation. To see all of the blessings that came upon her life, even the scene with the envelopes, right? Because we remember the envelopes being in a floorboard, but in this one, they were in a trunk. If you don't believe in a high power, I'm telling you, ain't nothing but a God that could do that, who could take your sadness and turn it into joy, who can give you back what the enemy stole from you, who allow you to see vindication, who allow you to see the power of his hand stretched out in your life, working on your behalf. They did a fantastic job of showing the power and the anointing of God. It made you leave out and say, I see you turn it around for me. I always want a production to speak to me, and that production spoke to me and said, you know what, in your time, you shall reap if you faint not. It allowed me to see that the race isn't given to the swift, neither to the strong, but to him who will endure until the end. She endured through hardship. She connected everybody. She was the support system. She was the one going to the jail every week with Sophie. She was the one that was encouraging everybody like she was. She was behind Harpo, and she told Sophia, when Sophia said, you told Harpo to beat me. And she said, I did it because I was jealous. And when Dominique, child, her name ain't no damn Dominique, her name Danielle. Child, if you don't get these daggone people's names right. When Danielle Brooks sung that new song, Hell No, phenomenal. It was phenomenal. But I didn't like the ending. It left me empty. It left me feeling like something was missing. It was beautiful. It was beautiful to see her kids, but it all felt rushed. And I wasn't even thinking at that part, right, of the 1985. I just wanted to feel a big warm hug at the end. And I felt like the ending left me with somebody just hold my hand. I wanted to be hugged at the end. And I felt like they missed it because it was too rushed. We were all at the theater. I'm not lying. The theater I went to today. Now, one person got up to leave. Because we were sitting there like, bitch, I know you lying. Here we get her singing, I'm going to. I am here. Like we got all that. Did we go into Easter service? Sierra was in it, but she was barely in it. Her was in it. She played what's the child's name? Child, let me get the damn names right. Because y'all won't be cussing me out. She played Squeak. But that ending, I am not lying. We all were sitting there like, and next thing you know, we start seeing credits. It was a hush. It was no applaud, no nothing. It was a hush. Because it just didn't connect. And so I'm leaving out I'm with my daughter, who's part of the new generation. And I just was like, Pooh, how you felt about that, about the ending? She's like, Ma, I don't, Ma, I don't know, Ma. It just wasn't good. You asked me about Fantasia. Fantasia is always phenomenal. Fantasia was phenomenal. Outstanding. Singing on point. Acting on point. She even said that she had made a decision that she wasn't going to do it, and then she decided that she was, and she did her own stunts. And honey, I'm telling you right now, do y'all remember the knife at the table thing? Honey, they had to pry her just about off. Mr. Fantasia did that thing. Her and Taraji have a bond, and had a bond on that screen that was absolutely believable. It was a support that they will have for each other for the rest of their lives. They were the yin to the yang. And I don't even believe if they had casted this any differently between Fantasia and, because I'm telling you right now, Taraji played Sugar Avery. Those of you all who ain't seen it, you're going to be shocked at Taraji. Not just her singing, but her ability to connect with you. Wait and see. Fantasia was phenomenal. Phenomenal. Oh, Barb, I was boo-hoo. Barb, I cried so much. Barb. Thank you so much, Barb Meets World, for the $4.99 super chat. Hey, Auntie, and Merry Christmas. I just got home myself from seeing the movie. To say it touched me and summons my tears would be an understatement. Do you want to click the link? I don't know if y'all want to click the link and discuss it or what y'all want to do, but I'm telling you right now, it was really good. There was some things that I did want, right? I wanted You and I Will Never Part. Like I needed silly daddy. I needed that. I needed those two things. I needed them. You want to come up, Pam? Okay. Okay. Miss in Tokyo. Come on, Pam. Come on up. Yes, she looked like she did. It was great. Yeah, that ending. Oh, so you saw it too. You didn't like the ending too? Okay, because I thought it was just me. I thought it was just me. Hey, boo, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Auntie. Hey, cousins.
Hey, Queen. How's Tokyo?
Oh, Tokyo is great. We just got back from the aquarium.
Okay.
So, yeah. But I saw the movie last week before I came to Tokyo because they had a couple of 4 people in the movies, our sorority sisters. So we had all across the nation. Deltas went to go see at a red carpet event last week.
Okay.
And I love the movie. And I'm not a musical person at all. I usually don't get into movies. I'm like what Dana was saying. They put me to sleep. And this was on a Saturday afternoon. I was already tired, but it kept my attention. I love the movie. But I agree with you that I cried so much at the end, but I didn't like the end. Felt like if something was missing, it ended too abruptly. I'm
Yeah.
like, they reconnected. I thought it was beautiful the way they did that meal around the tree and all the it was nice, but it felt like it should have been some more after that. It was just
Yeah.
like it just like abruptly was over. I'm like, wait, they united is over. I was all engrossed into it and it just seemed like it just dropped. I was in the
It
middle of crying.
did.
I was in the middle of crying, and it was like, but I loved it though. I did love the new version. I love both versions. You know, some people were saying don't mess with it when you have one, and I've known a lot of other movies they remake them and they just don't match up to the original. But I thought this was very well done. The singing, the choreography, the casting, the acting. It was like
The
all I thought was
costumes,
great. It
the
was great.
costumes were beautiful.
It was great. So that was a lot of stuff, you know. And those movies are kind of hard for me to watch. I don't want to see all that, you know, domestic situations and other stuff, but I thought it was well done.
It was very well done.
It was well done. I have to give them that. So for those, I know some people was in the chat like, "Oh, I'll wait." I'm telling you, go see it.
Go
First of
see
all,
it.
we need to support our own, and we need to go to movies, and we need to go and do that so that we know that we we can bring out money for to see us. So for that reason alone, we need to really go see it, and hopefully this week so that this first week we can knock it out the park
Yeah,
with the money. But it's a great movie. Not even just seeing it, but support is a great reason to see it. But it's a great movie. I highly recommend to
it
go
was.
see it.
And I think that what I was wanting, and I think what would have helped the ending is why they took out the relationship between the sisters. If you remember at the end of Color Purple, it ended with her and her sister back in that purple field.
Hmm.
And her and Nettie was doing their little thing. Even if they were going to bring it back and have it around the tree. And we never saw really the relationship between Nettie and Celie as a closure.
Yes, I would agree with that. Because she got to see her when she was like, everybody's here. Who else is getting out? Who else is coming when the car pulled up? And when she saw it and saw, oh, my family, and, you know, saw her kids and grandkids and all the whole bit, I'm like, that was so beautiful. And like I said, I was crying, but I was okay without having a hand clap. I know you're saying you really missed that because I think they did do a great job in showing how close their bond was.
As
I bought
children,
into
but we needed that closure, that
as
bond
adults,
with the
right?
two of them. Because remember, that's how Color Purple ended.
Hmm. All she saw was all this when she got out the car and they walked, you know, the slow walk and went to each other. But it was kind of like I don't want to say strangers, but it was kind of like, oh, here's your family. These are your kids. What is Olivia and Adam, and this is the son-in-law, and these are or daughter-in-law. I can't remember which one of them
Yeah, it
was
was the
married.
daughter-in-law. It was the daughter-in-law.
Daughter-in-law. It was the daughter-in-law, right?
Yeah,
Adam's wife. Well,
yeah.
Adam's wife, and then the kids. And I was just like, but they never really showed besides when they first saw each other and they like, oh my God. But she went right into introducing the family. They didn't do enough to connect the two of them.
Back
Like, oh
together.
my God, we are seeing each other after all these years.
And I think
That
that they had to do that because they lost that connection in the field. They lost the separation. So I guess they felt like, well, how do we connect this? But for people who are like myself, who saw it in 1985 and was, burling to the movie theater after work, it was no, they could have at least closed it with that, but maybe they thought that didn't make sense. But still, even if they didn't, put them in the purple field together. Because even when Taraji said, I think God gets angry with you, when you ignore purple, when you don't recognize purple. Like certain things, we want to see that. I just needed to see these sisters back together, and that didn't happen. I'm telling you, we were all sitting in the movie theater, like, tearied up and everything. And when we saw the credits going up, I was like,
Well, I was sitting there, you know how they do when these credits start going up, and then they go back and show another scene or something. Kind of, everybody's still sitting there waiting for something more. But I think without even showing, I'm giving them another ending, without even showing the purple field, that was such a significance about her hat, Nellie's hat. And remember when she got all of her belongings after her dad died, and it was Nellie's hat. They could have done something around her in
yes,
that hat. They could have done something around her in that hat. They could have showed a scene with her and Nellie bonding and she giving Nellie the hat or something. Because
yes,
them looking in that window around that hat and other stuff, Nellie always had that hat on. But they didn't just close it and bring them back into their closeness. Besides them just being shocked to see each other and happy to see each other, introduce her family, and then they sing, and I'm like, well, wait, they didn't show them like they could have bonded a little better. But other than that, I like this. But the
it was right.
singing, the choreography, the
The
acting,
dancer
all of it was phenomenal. It was
was right.
phenomenal.
It's
And
something you
it
got to
wasn't
really
like every
watch.
line was singing. I think it was just the right amount of singing.
It
It
was.
wasn't like a whole, it wasn't all singing, but I think it was just the right amount when they would do it. And when you talk about Taraji, when they opened up the juke joint, when she went there, that song, when she came in, nah, Taraji played that. She
Yes,
played that.
she
She
did.
played that. I said, I kept trying to look. I'm like, I didn't know Taraji sang.
You she from Howard, honey.
So, but I didn't
You
know
know?
she sang like that. But
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I kept thinking like, is somebody else singing for her? I'm like, she's singing.
Well, they had originally tried to cast her for Broadway, and she didn't take it because she said she knew that her voice wasn't going to be able to do 8 shows a day. You know what I'm saying?
Ah,
So
mm-hmm,
she didn't do it, right? Because you know what your voice can do and cannot do. Um,
mm-hmm.
so she didn't take it, but it was a full circle moment for her because it came back to her anyway. But yeah,
Yes, yeah.
I thought it was phenomenal. Even the Sealy's pants, with them dancing with the pants on and everything. I just thought I was like so proud of her, tap dancing and the choreography was it was phenomenal. And even I just love the way he shot some of the scenes too, right? So they were so rich and dark and just the angles that I just was like, this is so good. But
Oh yeah, and I'm not a Fantasia fan. Don't get me
I
wrong.
am.
Back in the day. I was so into American Idol, and I watched her whole season, and I loved her voice. And I loved her voice on there. I don't know. I always thought she kind of looked like a cartoon character to me, but I know. That was
Don't talk
me.
about my Fantasia.
But see, first of all, I'm an old soul. I listen to music from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. If it's been made since then, I don't know about it. People talk about folks. I be saying, who? See, if somebody said, I'm going to kill you right now, if you can't name one song Fantasia made, I'd be dead. I
I
mean,
love Fantasia.
so I don't know her
She's
music,
one
to
of
be
my
honest. I just
favorite
don't.
singers. I'm telling you, I love Fantasia.
I mean, I
And
loved her on American Idol, so I watched her come into,
yeah, I love her hustle. I
develop.
love her hustle. I love
Okay.
her hustle. She's been through a lot and she's very relatable. And she's so humble. She's so humble, which is the same
Okay.
thing I like about Taraji, right? Taraji, is a sister girl. Like, she's very
She is
relatable.
my sorority sister.
Uh,
Taraji is.
Okay.
She's a Delta girl.
Okay. But she's very down to earth.
Mm-hmm.
Very down to earth. I
So,
thought it was good though. I thought that they did a
me too.
fantastic job.
I think so too. I love the movie. I love the movie. I highly recommend. I'm telling people, please go see it Christmas
Please
Day
go
when it
see.
comes out. Yes, it was great. So when I saw you had went to see it, I said, "Oh, good." And I'd already put that I loved the movie. I was like, "Hopefully, Auntie don't come out here and say they disappointed her and it was horrible." I'm good with it. Yeah. The ending was like a little letdown, but the movie was well worth this to seeing it.
And
So
it's so wild because even just looking at Taraji, I didn't even remember the previous girl that played it. That's when you know that you are embodying a role. Because I didn't even think about her in comparison. You know what I'm saying? When Danielle came out, I compared her to Oprah at the beginning, but then I let her be herself. You know what I'm saying? So you look and you say, "Oh,
see,
okay, Danielle
I didn't
played her."
compare. I didn't compare it. It's been so long since I saw the original
Oh no,
one.
I remember
I
that child like yesterday.
Yeah. I didn't compare them, but I knew, like you say, Danielle, she played that part. She played that part. And when she sung that song, Hell No, I said, all right. And when she went and confronted Celie and said, you told her on to beat me.
Yeah,
Like, but I
yeah.
was glad that Miss Celie said, Elle, I was jealous. You able to stand up for yourself. Shit, you got her up on jump and do whatever you want. And I'm sitting over here all mealy mouth, afraid to even be seen, and you over there running the house. So I'm like, I told her I'll beat you into submission.
Yeah.
But but it was good. It was heartbreaking watching that scene with the mayor's wife and her going to jail and all that
Yeah.
whole bit.
But even
That's
they
the
did
kind of
not do that as drastic as it was in the first original one, because that took you out. And then when you saw her in her
mhm.
eye was all jacked up. So that's why I was saying, even with Danielle, right? I'm looking like, is her eye gonna be? But when it wasn't, I still was fine with it. I liked how she handled it at the table with the laughing scene. You know what I'm saying? I liked all of it. They did a great job of
She came,
creating.
she came back to life at that table. She like, look, I'm back. I'm back. She just
It
she
was
needed to
good.
see Miss Seeley put that knife to his neck. Like,
What did you think about wait a minute, hold on, let me get his name. Louis Gossett Jr. Oh, Mister.
oh, well, he was on. He didn't have a lot of scenes in there. I mean, of course, I didn't care for some of his lines, some of the stuff that he said. The one when she spit in his water, I was like, ugh. And I kept saying, I was with a girlfriend of mine and I was sitting there like, why is she doing this to him? And she was like, because at this point, she liked Taraji so much,
She,
and
she did it because he said something negative about
he
you.
called her a hoe. So when he talked about Taraji was a hoe and she spit in this water to my added a little flavor for you. And I was sitting there like, but that was just the next day after she saw Taraji sleeping with her mate, was sleeping
But
with
it
her
didn't make a
husband.
difference to
I
her
know. And she didn't care.
because she was already
And
taking care of all her kids.
see, I didn't realize those was Taraji's kids.
Those were Sugar
I,
Avery's children.
I never knew who the mother was of the
See?
kids.
So you never read the book.
I haven't read the book. But my thing is, then why would Harpo not know that was his mother?
Harpo knew that was his
When she,
mom.
when she opened up his juke joint and they were saying it would be great if you could get when Celie said it would be great if you can get Suge Avery to sing here. Yeah, I mean they never showed that there was any relationship. I didn't get that. I didn't realize
But
to
that
think
came,
that
but
was
that
his
but they didn't
mother.
but you got to remember it started off as a book, And when they brought certain things into the movie, they didn't bring everything in. You know, when you read a
Okay.
book,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
look at right, they didn't bring all that background in, but those were Suge Avery kids.
Oh, see
All
that gives.
three of
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that because they just never in the movie never mentioned who were the kids, who was the kid's mama. All he knew is he was looking for a wife. He was looking for somebody to come take care of his three kids.
they were Suge's. And that's why the
Oh,
father
see,
had such a foul, that's why the father had such a foul thought about her. That's why the
because
daddy hated her.
and her own father because she left her then. Because see, then you would think they would have had something with her father maybe and the kids, but I
They
guess I'm
left a
bringing
lot of
my modern day thoughts into it. That it was
yeah,
like
well, I mean,
totally
you know, the
separate.
stuff yeah, if you look at the book, if you read the book, right? Because when it came out in 85, a lot of people was disappointed because a lot of stuff that happened in the book did not translate into the original. But that's just, you know, creativity. So, you know,
Yeah.
with them trying to make it as close as they wasn't going to bring that out because that never came out in the first one. But if you read the book, you really understand the relationships.
Okay. Yeah, that's not a book that I've ever read. So
It's very
I saw,
good.
of course, the original movie, and now this one, but
It's
I've
very
never read
good.
the book.
I kept that book, and I don't even know. I probably have it somewhere in one of my old things. Honey, my pages was brown on that book. I kept that book so long.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. 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 The
So
book
you
was.
had read the book before the movie?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Years before the movie came out.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See,
So we was waiting. Like I said, we like what? We calling in sick. Somebody like
I'm
we
going.
you know, and going to the movies back then was totally different from going to the movies now, right? You had to
Oh
stand
yeah.
in line and wasn't no online, let me buy my ticket and all that. It wasn't none of that. You was in line. Okay, so it was totally
Oh
different, but it
yeah.
was an experience. And it was a bunch of us that hooked up and went to see it. The same thing with Waiting to Exhale. When Waiting to Exhale
Yeah. It was
came
the same thing even now to see it. We rented out the entire movie theater and we sold
out,
out.
okay.
The first one was 114 seats. We sold that out so quick, and we added a second movie theater which had 60 seats, and we sold that out, and that was it. So yeah, we sold out really quickly. So we had a bunch of people all waiting to come in and set up and walk the red carpet. We did a whole event around it
Oh,
last
okay.
weekend. Yeah, last Saturday.
We did that with something else, and I can't remember what it was. But somebody just put this in here, so let me make sure I confirm this. Hold on. Who was the mom of Albert? Let me make sure I confirm. Suge, do Suge and Albert have kids? Suge had 3 babies with Albert.
Oh, okay.
But after the third, her mom kicked her out. Suge also tells Silly what she liked so much about Albert. He could dance well, he was really funny, and he was great in bed. Now, somebody said that Suge Avery, what did they say? The kids were Mr.'s first wife who was killed.
Yeah, see, they didn't talk about, like I said, I didn't know who the mama was. They didn't say who it was, but
Suge Avery. Okay, so the next question. Why didn't Albert marry Suge after she had his children? His brother told him Suge was trash since she had those 3 kids, and there was no way of them proving that they were Albert's.
It's so weird because Harpo, look at what he did. He didn't care nothing about if those kids was his or not. If Sophia's kids, he while she was in jail, he raised them as if they was his, and she left him, had a child with another man, and it was just something about that connection they had that it was like they didn't care where life took either one of them. They was gonna always stay connected.
And yeah, and the thing about it is, I believe in the book, if I can recall, you learned what happened to the other kids. In Color Purple, they only focused on Harpo.
Yeah, they didn't
Harpo.
talk
They
about
never
the
gave
other
you a
ones.
backstory on the other 2 kids.
Now let me ask you this: who was the one when Celie came to her to Mister's funeral? Not Mister, her dad, her stepdad. Can't think of his name right now. When she
What
went
about him?
to when she went to the funeral, who was that that whispered in her ear, "Come to the shop"?
His wife.
That told, yeah, but I was like, so she wasn't a, because that was just that's what I thought, but it was a young girl.
He married a young
But,
girl.
but it was
When
I
her
thought it
mother
was his
died,
wife.
when her
Yeah,
mother
I
died,
thought.
he married that young girl.
Okay. Cause I'm like, I thought that was his wife, but then because I
He
knew
married
she
her.
said I thought he would have left it to you, and she was like, oh, it never belonged to him to
Never
leave it
belonged
to
to
me.
him. He just was
Right.
robbing her and her sister, almost like Cinderella. He was robbing her and her sister, but he had married a real young girl in the book after her mother died. So he needed to get rid of Celie. And then, of course, Nettie left because he tried to touch her.
Right. Well,
Mm,
obviously he touched Celie, and that's the other part. So Celie was supposed to be the quote unquote ugly one, but that's the one who he had 2 kids with.
and she felt like it was the hour going on because she didn't know that that wasn't her father. She thought that she was going
Right.
to die, but she wasn't.
Right. Right.
She wasn't. He was trash. And there
Oh
was some
yeah.
stuff that happened in a book between him and the new girl downtown at the church, because a lot of stuff used to happen at Suge Avery's father's church.
Yeah, they just brought that in here and there, showing with the Reverend. And that's where Tamala Mann came in when you were saying what role she was Suge Avery's. I don't know if she was her biological mother or
Mm-mm,
stepmother.
mm-mm,
Her
stepmother.
stepmother, because she was married to her dad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but and they even shortened that reunion between the two of them and the bitterness between the two of them. But when you read the book, you understand what happened, between in the relationship between her and her daddy. It was the music and the horn and
Yeah.
being with Albert.
She, right. She left the church and was wanted to pursue jazz.
Being with Albert and being with Albert.
Mhm.
So the two
Yeah.
fathers never saw it for their kids, for either one of them to be together. But they just never, they wasn't doing DNA tests and swabs up in the cheek and all of that
Right.
kind of stuff. So, it
Right.
was always out there that those was Suge's kids.
Okay,
Mhm.
see, it's good to know that backstory. I didn't know that. In watching the movie, I didn't know who the mom or the kids was. So that makes it even a different bond between
Yes, because she
Miss Seeley
appreciated
and
this
Suge
woman.
Knight.
She appreciated this woman taking care of her kids. She came in there and that woman was taking care of her kids and her.
Right,
Because Suge
right.
came in sick. She had a disease or something. I can't remember what it was, But all that stuff is left out, which is why a lot of people were disappointed because Suge was sick.
Ah, okay.
Suge was sick.
Did they bring? Yeah. See, when they had even a scene of them in the bed, I didn't remember that part. And my friend was like, "You don't remember that from the original one with
Yeah,
Suge and Miss Seeley?"
they had a full-fledged relationship, lesbian relationship.
Okay,
Very,
see, maybe
very
I
detailed in
just
the book. It was very
okay.
detailed in the book, but when they brought out the first, they kind of it was subtle. They didn't go back and all of that because there was so much to cover in her book. It's a good read.
Yeah,
It's a
it sounds
good read.
like it.
It is a good read. I was reading that. Let me see what happened to let me see what because Suge was I think Suge had Suge's did Suge
You had
a
to be reading this in high school, Auntie. If the movie came out in
I
'85,
was.
you a year behind me, and I came out in '82.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What does Suge have? I think it was hold on. They said that she had what they called the nasty woman's disease.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, the nasty
Back
woman.
in the day, that's what they call it, the
And
nasty
that,
woman.
and STD.
Unfortunately, allegedly,
Okay.
they didn't.
Okay.
Suge was something else. Suge was something else, and
Yeah.
they just gave you little
Yeah.
hints of it.
Yeah,
But
but I was just going to say, but you got the picture in the movie. You got the picture.
it was good. I'm glad you enjoyed it too, because I
So
really did enjoy it.
I I did too.
I
Uh,
gotta go and see Renaissance now.
I don't know what that is.
That's Beyonce. Beyonce concert
Oh,
is in the theater.
oh, see, that's what I told you. I don't know nothing about that. I do know who Beyonce is.
Well, y'all continue to have a good time. When you coming back?
New Year's Day. We're here for Christmas. Christmas here was yesterday, so you guys were all having Christmas today. We had Christmas yesterday because we so far ahead.
Okay. And so you coming back
New Year's Day.
New Year's Day. Okay.
Yeah. We'll be here through to bring in the new year here and we leave New Year's Day. But when we get back home, it's gonna still be New Year's Day because it's 10 hours ahead.
Okay. Well, I
So
can't
we
wait to
lost
have
it.
you back.
Yeah, we lost a day coming here, but we'll gain a day coming back.
Okay. Well,
So
thank you for
because of the
coming up.
time. All right. Well, thank you guys. Hope you guys hopefully had all a Merry Christmas. Yes, Kevin gave me some places to enjoy here in Tokyo.
You'll have fun. Cause he in
So
Quebec.
okay, I knew he was responding to me because I did join him on Instagram, and he gave me the restaurant to try here and some
Yeah.
other stuff.
Well, he
So
didn't know
that
he was going. He was out there on a Instagram. He said his girlfriend texted him or called him and said I she was supposed to get married. She canceled the wedding, and she said and she said join me in Quebec. And he said okay, give me. I think he told her to give him 30 minutes to get back. And honey, next thing you know, he had pictures
oh hey,
his
see
ass
the
in
my
Quebec.
my kind of man. We didn't book till Monday. We last weekend, people were like, "What?" I said we were trying to go to China, but we couldn't get a visa in time. It take 30 days. And so my husband was. I said, "Where can we go to? We don't need a visa." He's like, "Okay, book us to Tokyo." So I didn't book till just last Monday.
Well, honey, Kevin
People
was
were like, "I
going
can't
through
believe."
it wasn't number. It seemed like it was 30 damn minutes. Next thing I know, he
Hey,
got a damn glass shell. He done flew Delta. His, I said, cover the damn mouse. And he's out there with his girlfriend.
I love it. That's
I
that's
do.
the
I
way you
love
live.
to
That's the
do
way you
that.
live life.
I
That's
got to
the way
get
you live
past
life.
all my hang-ups. I got to get past my
I
hang-ups.
see that's I keep every time I hear you say that, I tell you gotta get out there, travel, and enjoy the world. That's
Yeah.
what one of my employees, she was like, "You're so brave. You're going where?" Because she was like, "You mean like Saturday you're gonna leave?" I said, "Yes, I'm calling the book up to Tokyo." And since we couldn't go to China, now I booked us China for April 26th. So I booked us China at the same time I booked us Tokyo.
Oh, that's gonna be
So
nice.
so April 26th.
Well, 2024 is my year. I've been looking at my stuff. I've been reading my little books.
Well,
How not to
I'm
be
going
seen.
to come on. I'm going to Hainan. It's considered the Hawaii of China on April 26th, Friday to Friday.
Oh my God.
So for a week.
You be lucky you get me to Jamaica.
Oh, okay.
I'm about to change. I'm telling you now. I've been looking at my. I'm telling you, I'm doing the work. So when y'all see my little reels, don't be shocked because I'm
I was
really
gonna say
do my.
I'm gonna stand up so you could just see how it is.
Let me
Tokyo,
see.
how look how crowded it is.
Oh my God.
You see, I was like, is this crazy? My husband's like, they take care of every inch of land here. Look
God
how look
damn.
how crowded that is. There's like no land.
No land, no water, nothing.
Right. I was telling, I said, if that's not craziness,
That is what's the temp?
it's
What's the
been
temperatures?
in the like in the 50s, like 60. It ain't bad. It's
Okay.
not bad. I've been so hot in this room. But
What?
so,
I ain't
so
seen no.
yeah,
I mean, it ain't no land. No, no. Like where the cars
none.
drive at?
They got streets and they drive on the wrong side. So I keep being all confused. I ain't driving. I mean, even in walking, our hotel is hooked to a big upscale mall. So we can go right out and just go into the mall from our hotel. And I keep being on the left, I keep being on the right because we walk on the right and
Yeah.
they all and all the people keep coming at me. And I'm like, I forgot they do everything on the opposite side of the road.
Oh my God.
I gotta remember to walk on the left hand side.
Are you
But
masking? Are they masking over there? What are they doing?
a lot of them are,
Okay.
they like my husband was telling me they masked even before the pandemic. So a lot of the locals are, but it's optional.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter if you do or you don't. I'm not, but a lot of people here are.
Well,
So we just
Dana
came.
said it's close, close. She said it's
I
close.
mean,
Oh my
it's
God.
crazy. It's all just, I'm looking out there, I'm like, that is crazy.
That
We're up
is.
on like the 37th floor. So we're looking out over all, and it's craziness. It's just all that brick. That's all you see is buildings. And my husband was like, they maximize all their land. And for us coming from Texas, where all we have is open land everywhere. And
Mhm.
here it's like there's no land. Everything is just buildings very close. So
Oh my God. Well, you enjoy. Get
all
ready to
right. Well, you
start
got
working when
I
you
just
come back on Sister Wives. Get ready.
I'm gonna look forward to it. I watched the first one last Friday because we left Saturday morning. So I watched part one, but of course I didn't see part two on Sunday, but it's taped on my DVR. So when I get back, I'll get to catch up on my
Yeah,
Sister
I didn't
Wives.
see the one today either.
So
Well, I love
okay.
you.
All right. Love you too. Enjoy.
Enjoy. Be
So,
safe.
all right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. I'm getting ready to get my travel on. But I thank you all so much for being here. Y'all let me know downtown in the comment section what y'all thought about The Color Purple. Did you go and see it? Do you plan on going to see it? I'm telling you right now, it's good. And y'all know I don't pull no corners and I don't tell no lies. Go see The Color Purple. Love you all. Bye.